So we're live on YouTube as well as live tonight on Facebook. I'm your host, Elaine Janelle. And hold on. Just need to do a few quick things before we get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Renew Talk. I see you tilting. All right. There we go.
You started on the video.
Yep, we are here live. All right. I'm your host, Elaine Janelle from Renew Talk. And you probably may have heard of us once or twice, seen us once or twice. I'm doing adjustments because we're doing multiple multitasking tonight. But with everything being said, just want to say thank you for joining us. And our topics tonight are called PKs, the child of the leader. And we have two PKs of the Taylor family here with us tonight. There are 5 of them. We have 2. And so we're going to work with what we have tonight. And if any other ones join us, we're going to welcome them as they come in. But our topic tonight came about because Minister, Youth Pastor here, Mr. Kenneth Taylor, is in the process of planning and preparing for this weekend. And this weekend is PK conference. I'm sorry, I'm pulling this back, y'all, so they can see all y'all and not just me. So PK conference here in Richmond, Virginia, and Fountain of Deliverance, and Sammy is in charge of that conference on this weekend. And so that's what brought up this topic. But we're not going to just sit here and talk about the conference, because if you're really interested in being a part of the conference, the PK conference, you can join us in Richmond starting this Thursday. And we'll come back with the rest of the commercial information that you need for this weekend for the PK conference. So first, I'd just like my guests to introduce themselves, and then we're going to pick it up from there. And if you're just joining us, my name is Elaine Janelle, and I am the host and creator of Renew Talk. So I'm going to start with ladies first. My friend to my left will introduce herself, and we will go from there.
Hey everybody, I am Latavia Marie. Of course, Taylor is my last name, but I just go by Latavia Marie, and I'm the first of the 5.
She is the oldest of the siblings, and I'm like playing with this. I'm playing with the thing. So if y'all think I'm crazy, I'm playing with the Facebook Live one, and we have Mr. Kenneth.
They can't see me on Facebook.
They can't see you on Facebook Live one. Okay.
My name is Kenneth Taylor, and I am the youngest of the 5.
I'm trying.
Sit beside Taylor.
I'm okay.
We see that.
Okay. I'm like, y'all wondering probably why we're not talking right now, because I'm trying to make sure the camera is grabbing everybody, and it's barely making it.
There you go.
Right there. Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit more about yourselves. So those who are fans of Renew Talk will know that Miss Latavia Taylor has actually been a part of Renew Talk before, about 2-3 years ago now. So I would like both of them to tell a little bit more about themselves, and then we're going to go into the interview.
What you want to know about that?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Like what? Oh, I'm 25. I have 4 wonderful young ones. Kingston, Carter, Caden, and Kennedy. And I serve as the youth pastor at my home church, which is Fountain of Deliverance, but my father is the pastor there, and I think that's all you need to know.
All right.
Okay. I am currently serving as the executive administrator of church leadership and auxiliary affairs at my home church. And I think it's important to serve at home. So that's what I do. And I just graduated from college. Woo, woo, woo. Master's degree in Christian education. So I think that that's important to plug as well. I'm kind of smart a little bit. And yeah, all my other personal endeavors, we may get into that later.
All right. So, as you say, we have people versed in different areas. The first question, though, I want to ask you guys, I kind of want to tread back a little bit and being pastors' children, because some people are PKs as in their preacher's kids, and some people are PKs and then there's pastors' kids, which I personally believe there's a difference even there. There's a different dynamic in that. So my first question was, were both of you born into being PKs? Like, was your father already a pastor when you were born?
Yes.
Yes.
He was already since pastor, Fountain Holy Church. Then I was born shortly after. I think he had the church before we got married.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so I'm a product of the after.
Okay, gotcha. And with that being said, so you came how many years later? Because I know you're the youngest of the 5. She's the beginning, you're the end.
6. Like 6 years.
Yes.
You've been passing 31 years. I'll be 30 in June. And you're 25.
Yeah, I don't know. I just came out.
6 years later.
6 years later.
So my
It's not 6?
it's not 6. It's because it's 30. So it's gonna be about 5 years later.
Well, they are close in age, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting calculated.
I'm not
It's
doing it.
roughly.
I'm gonna say it's 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
We'll say 5. Okay,
So
so
here after. Oh, okay. So it's 32. We're a year behind.
okay.
Maybe 1 year won't count. I don't know.
So my question then is, with both of you being born into it, how was childhood for you? Do you feel like that as children you had a balance in your childhood with being pastor's kids?
No.
Yes.
Can you both expound on that?
It wasn't, to me, I didn't know that preacher's kids was a thing. It was just like,
That's
I'm a young person. I'm a child. You know, I feel like I grew up pretty regular. To me,
Okay.
it wasn't like a thing until we got older and we realized that there were more of us. So
Got it. Okay.
it wasn't a thing. Yeah.
Now you said no, Sammy. Why did you feel like there wasn't a balance for you?
I don't even know why she said yes, to be honest.
I'm older. My experience is different.
Well, I guess it fell on me because they pretty much did everything. And then it was just left to me, so. I was
I'm not
always
asking the question.
I was always told that we were bad, you know, and then like things that we did was always just like put out there in the forefront. You know, we couldn't do certain stuff, we couldn't dress a certain way, we couldn't go certain places. So it was just like sometimes I didn't want to be a preacher's kid.
And your feelings of not wanting to be a preacher kid, is that connected with the fact that you couldn't, that you were in the forefront?
Yeah, because I couldn't do, you know, certain stuff. I couldn't go certain places. You know, you had to act a certain way when you went to school, and when you act up in school, it's just like, oh, well, you know, his parents are pastors, and then they judge you according to that and all that. So it's just like sometimes I would be like, I don't want to be this person anymore in this circle.
Okay. Did you feel like you had any experiences similar to that, or?
There are definitely moments of that, but I feel like it wasn't enough to deter me from things that I always had other things that I was interested in. Like I played tennis, I was in the band, I was in the choir. I was able to experience a whole lot of those things. So, and then I really didn't get into a lot. I mean, I did, but it wasn't enough to, you know, change my personality. It was just kind of like, you know, it was growing pains. I just counted every experience for what it was. So.
Yeah. So because you talk about everybody knew that, or because you were children of a pastor, do you feel like it was magnified, like it was a big deal?
Yeah, by the time it got to me, you know, we all went to the same school.
Okay.
And then Tavy left, and then it was Kiki and Steven and Lawrence. By the time we got to me, they was like, oh Lord, one more. So it was just like, they had already put me in this box, and it was like, you know, this guy right here, we don't really know what to expect from this one. And, you know, I was really a quiet kid until I got about 16, maybe, and I just came on my shell, and everybody tried to push me back in. But so I didn't really, you know, I was already prejudged, basically.
Because of the siblings coming before you.
Yeah.
So, gotcha. So I have like another different dynamic of the question. This is a little bit off to the side. Was there ever a time, because you're coming from being, you're pastor's children, so you're not just a preacher's children or one of the preacher's children, you're pastor's children, so you kind of help with the foundation of the church, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. Would you say that you would help with the foundation of the church? Okay. So, because you said, well,
was there more to the question?
No, I want you can stop right there because I'm about to make a left turn, so that's why I asked that question. Do you feel like I think it's different when a person is a PK and their parent is ordained a pastor of a church that's already established, where you said your father started pastoring not long before he got married. Mm-hmm. Then he got married, then he had a kid. Like it was like
back to back.
Right. And so it became like a part of all of it was his life. There was no other life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's why I said do you feel like you're a part of the foundation of the church?
Oh, because, absolutely. I feel like everything that he did or has done was for us, is for us. So he includes us in the process, even if we don't want to be included. I feel like we're considered. Both my parents consider us. With it, they're creating something for us and for the grandchildren. So
even I definitely didn't want it. You know,
yeah, even though we're a tad bit stubborn sometimes, it's still for us. It's just like a business. Parents or people create businesses to leave something to their children and their parents. So I definitely feel like that's what's happening for us.
Okay. So this was my left turn to the question. Since you are children of the pastor's kid, was there ever a moment where you felt like I don't need to be a part of this God thing or this church thing? So I'm asking this question because I like to always navigate the aspect that we naturally put God with church because biblically, you know, there is God, and then he in the New Testament he formatted the church. But I think the world that we live in now, people are like, well, I'll do God, but I won't do church. Well, I won't do neither.
I always loved church, you know, even when I was younger. I used to watch Jamal Bryant on TV. So I always loved church. I always wanted that, you know, to be in that type of, I guess, atmosphere, that type of arena. So then I got older and I just sometimes rather go to a camp meeting. You know, my dad used to take us to the campground. I just thought that was like the best church ever. It was outside with, you know, bugs, and they had this one dog that just looked like it was always praying. I just seemed like I always liked that type of church.
A praying dog?
Yeah. The dog was always, you know, involved. Yeah, you know, we get bit by mosquitoes and stuff, and they had the best chicken. But I loved it. I was just like, I'd rather be here. So, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I'd rather just detour from churches.
And just do that for yoga.
Just do that.
I was wondering where he was going with that.
But yeah, I'm just rather
I'm more like the systematic way that we do it has never been appealing to me.
Okay.
But it's kind of like this is what we are. It's a part of our heritage. It's charismatic, Pentecostal, speaking in tongues, following for. That's just a part of who we are. So I don't discount it, but it was never like a thing I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so in awe. It's just, I'm grateful to have been rooted in the faith by them so that I'm not wavered by how church is done.
Okay.
So I definitely have a very different view on church. I'm more of I like community than I do the indoorsness of
the church. Now
my desires are enough.
Okay. I'm going to stop there for a minute because I think there's something to discuss. So the reason I'm saying it is because the style of church is changing.
Hey Carter. Hello Tim. Hey guys.
You know what's bad, guys? I'm so sorry because I know people are like responding and saying things. People are people are laughing, and I can't see it. It's so far away. It's out there somewhere, but I can't see it. So please excuse me. What I'm going to do though is the show. I'm gonna scroll back and give out shout outs and everything like that. You know, because I respect you to take the time out to join us. And we have a few people on YouTube as well. Those on YouTube you can't see the people.
Oh.
But it's good to know that people are on here with us, and we do appreciate you. So the reason why I said the concept of church is changing because traditional church is still very much ingrained in like the United States of America because it was before we were here. But the concept that I'm thinking about is when you said the communal aspect, it makes me think of the fact that people just want to gather for prayer, sing a song, and get a small word and go home. Like, is there a problem with seeing church in that turn, making that turn? As you guys have grown up, even though this room is under age of 35, as you guys have grown up, do you think that's a problem with seeing church take that different dynamic?
I see a problem with the church taking a dynamic of more community involvement than just worship. No, I feel like that's what Jesus died for. For us to get out there and compel others to come in to witness to the lost, the poor, the sick. I feel like that was the duty anyway. And I think that was a left turn when we just kind of closed off into this segregated group. Oh, we're believers and we just want to be over here. But I think if we can be over here to retreat, to refresh ourselves, to recruit, to go back out, but not to just be in the inside and preaching to each other. Like I don't like church and church people. I don't.
That's good.
I can't do it. I don't want a church.
I would rather be in the streets. If the world wasn't so crazy now, it would be easy to do that. Just go out and minister and talk to people. I try to do it as much as I can and work and not go out places. But I'm trying
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm doing this from Richmond. As you see, I'm not connected on Google, Google Plus, or Google Hangouts, but I am connected to Google Hangouts for YouTube. So I think that's an interesting conversation to have. I myself would like to say that I like the communal aspect, but I think that people are scared to do that. Does that make sense?
What, you going in the street?
I think you just said it. You just said it.
Oh yeah, because you don't know what
you
don't know what's gonna happen. Somebody might shoot you, smack you, or cut you out. It's just like when the Jehovah's Witness come to your door. We slam the door in their face and tell them to go and do all types of stuff. So it's like the same thing. We get into that place now where it's not like I guess like it used to. I remember when we were younger, we used to go and Mother Lord used to take us out. We used to talk to people, even though it was tiring when we were younger. But she didn't stop. She was a true missionary. But now you can't. It's hard. It's really hard to be a missionary nowadays because everybody have their different perspective of God and church, and they don't want to hear that stuff. And then church has been played over so long, and misused and abused. People don't care about.
They don't really take us serious.
Yeah, they don't take us serious.
We're not true to our convictions, so it's hard for the world to be.
They take Tyler Perry serious before us.
Prone to want to listen to someone witness to you about things.
Yeah, they just take him more serious. He can get up there and screw a whole Bible story up in scripture, and they will take that serious before they actually sit into a church and listen to a preacher.
But do you feel like that's partly because, when you just said that it did resonate with me, you think that's partly because after the scripture, after the joke, like there is a part of all his movies, whether people like it or not, that he's real raw about whatever that statement or whatever point he's trying to make. Because my thing is, I'm just gonna sit in this for 1 minute, then we'll redirect back to some other questions related to PKs. But my thing is, I think that being a missionary takes on a different look. It's still some of the same things, like helping people with their bills. It's still bringing food to people who may need it. But I just think it needs to take on a different look.
My thought about missions and being a missionary at this point is equipping people to be able to live better. Like I understand, giving them a meal and clothes and toiletries and stuff like that. Those things are good and it's tangible and it helps them for the moment. But they also need to be equipped to survive after this moment. Because if you are living in a place where you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, what can I give to you to show you how to do that going forward? Because I may not be what if it may run out for me, so how am I going to give you a meal? The next time, it may be a time where I need a meal. So to me, it's all about equipping people to be able to survive in the world, how it is today. With the way the administration is going, we don't know what's going to become of us. Mm-hmm. So I really feel like it's all about equipping people.
Gotcha. And at your church, do you feel like your church has an area where you're able to do that? Like I know some churches have like GP programs, or because I know people don't think like those are mission things, but to me they are. Like even churches that, and people, I might get some people to throw back at this, but I really don't care. Like some churches may do things for people who have AIDS, HIV, or they do things specifically for people who are uninformed. Like when you just said something that will actually change your life. And does your church have anything that in Richmond that they're able to do with the?
So what we've had for a long time is avenues to connect people to resources that have already been created, versus us trying to stretch ourselves up. Because we're not the biggest church in the area, but we're not a small church. But if there are persons who already have something established and it's consistent, and we have confidence in it, we're more so structured to refer people to the thing so they can have access to it immediately. But what we are working towards now is having certain things right there in the house. Now that we know that there are other people who are educated in certain fields, who are certified in certain areas, the goal now within the next coming months and years is to have all those things in the house ready for people who come in.
Accessible to them.
Yeah, and for people with needs. Mm-hmm. Not the people who just want it. For the needs. For the needs.
That's good.
Well, what do you do with the people that just want it?
Ask them
Well, the people that just want it, I work in a church, and I'll just put this out there for people, because people want whatever they want. They want money, they want food, they want anything that's quick. And it's funny you said that. They want anything that's quick access. Clothes. They want something they can resell too. So that's just being honest. They want something they can resell. So part of that cuts that down is doing like applications or backgrounds. Like if you just came here for the same thing 12 months ago, you can't get it this time. Come back in another 12 months and we'll see if we want to help you in that area. Because we don't want you to abuse what the need really is. Right. That's what it really is. And that's what we do at church every day. So I'm going to redirect back to some of the PK questions that I have. There is this whole, the terminology out there that is in the world. It's not just in the church that, PKs for like their baddest kids or the worst kids. How do you feel about that, hearing that as children? So first I want you to answer it from what you probably thought 10 years ago or 20 years ago, and then how you do it now, because now you're preaching more and now you have children. So first go back and then come forward.
Honestly, I kind of was a bad child. I can't even lie. I'm kind of like start telling the truth more. I was really a bad child, and I think it was more so because I was misunderstood. So I felt like when I expressed my hawk side, my angry side, and I turned colors and stuff, I felt like people understood me more. And I didn't really do all that stuff at home. All of my action stuff was at school, and that was where that's where it all came out, man. PKs are bad, and every time I heard that PKs were bad, I think I got madder. I just, I would just do more stuff, like throw books and kick over desks, and I would plug stuff at the teachers, and I would just, I did all that stuff, and my dad would just be like, my dad was on. I hope they're not watching this right now. My dad was on some, he understood. His kids were not bad. My mom was on some, I know he doing it. He acted up in school. And she would tell people at church, and then, my actions wouldn't show at church because I was like more so this shy baby at church. And I stuck under one person until I was like 14. And so, we were really bad. I would say that if the restaurant would say we were bad, But I think it was more so people put us on this pedestal and put us on this really, really, really high stool. And then expect, they expect us not, if we tied our shoestrings together, everybody knew about it. They didn't, it was like, they didn't think we were human, like we were aliens or something. So it was just kind of one of the things I got tired of growing up. I'm just like, yo, I'm human, I'm going to make mistakes, I'm going to fall, I'm going to do stuff. Don't put me in this room all by myself and think that we're not exempt from messing up and, having kids out of wedlock and smoking and drinking and partying and stuff. We doing what we seen everybody else do, but we had to learn for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm older, some of that stuff, I was just like, okay, God, why did I really do that? But it was I had to learn my lesson, so now I can talk and tell my kids, one of my sons, he like to act out a little bit, and I say all the time, and I was listening to Mary this morning. She was talking about stop calling your child bad. Mm-hmm. Stop saying your child is bad. Speak well of them, speak good of them. Right. And I was thinking about that. I always call my son Carter bad. He throw little stuff, he do little stuff, he talk back, and he don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying, but I know he's talking back. So I just be like, I'll be like, Carter, you really bad. But now I'm going to speak well of him, and I'm just going to say, you're a smart, intelligent young man, and we're going to pray that you don't have the same anger and attitude and stuff as your father.
Okay. Now I will say I do like that. My mother says that. My mother said don't go to church today.
I be saying a little more bad, man.
Some children will make you think this.
If he was here right now, the house would be the opposite way, because Carter, he likes to try people, and I feel like that's me. That's what I did as a child, and I wanted attention so bad because I was the last of the five. Everybody else got attention. My brothers got attention. They played instruments. I don't know what else they did, but they got so much attention. So like as I got older, I was just like, I'm tired of being a shadow of them and being a shadow of my dad. So I wanted my own. So I started doing things to, make a name for myself. Every time I listened, it was always, here come Bishop Taylor's son, or you look just like Taylor. I wanted to create a name for myself. Mm-hmm. And they would go back and tell me, yeah, your son is bad. Thank God that I'm delivered from that.
And just to say, I don't think your son is bad. Because your son is what, 3, 2?
Carter's 1.
Carter's 1?
He's 1.
So he's not bad. He has to be redirected. No, I'm serious. Babies at the age have to be redirected. I'm not saying that they have to be redirected, but we're not going to have a conversation about children. But what is your take? Because I feel like, David, you said you were more active, like you did more things in school. So it's like,
I think if we're looking back 10 years, and that whole statement isn't new, preachers kids all the words that bad. And my thought was, if I was that bad, why would I be here? Like started working in church at 14 years old, been in the church, serving in the church ever since that moment, on the usher board, on the step team, on the praise dance team, singing on the choir, praise and worship leader. I was serving in the kitchen. I'm doing everything. It's just like, but yet I still couldn't do anything right for the people. So I was just like, well, I'm in here. I can see if I was not in the church or in the world or doing all the things that, I had the freedom to do. So I was just still, she's like this, she's like that. So I just took it for what it was. It's just like, that's their opinion. Now, at 30 years old, I really don't care. And I'm trying to say that in like the best way possible, but I feel like I'm kind of mature past a person's opinion, like their opinion of that I'm more than a preacher's kid. Right. And I think I've lived a life so to where I have a lane for myself, where my name can hold its own weight. And I think that's what my parents instilled in me, to be self-assured, to be established, to create things for yourself, to find your voice. Right. And they embrace, even though it was probably difficult for them, but they embrace each and every one of us unique side. Like, we're all very, very different, but yet we're all alike. And they have embraced the differences about us. Mm-hmm. So it makes it even better, where someone say, oh, take it like this, like that. And I'm just like, well, I know. I'm not shocked by anything that you tell me about myself. So now it's just kind of like, okay,
Right.
I'm still here, serving
Right.
the Lord, praise Him. But I can't really dwell on that one thing that you know about me. That's what you know. But if you ask me, you'll learn something completely different.
And I'm about to say now, and this is kind of why I want to have that conversation, because I think people talk about PK kids, but then as an adult, it's not the same. Number one, once you know who you are, I think you do like differently. Versus, like you said, you was tired of being people's shadows. So, so you had to, but I feel like you had to work through that. Like it wasn't something that just like, well, this is what I'm gonna do different. You had to kind of work through that until you found
who I was.
I mean,
identity. I was struggling with that for a
identity crisis.
Yeah, I struggled.
PK Summit.
I didn't know who. I mean, I really didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was. You know, I didn't really want to be a preacher. But I mean, I felt like it was gonna fall on somebody. I was thinking Lawrence, maybe. You know, I'm not saying that Lawrence is still not gonna fall on him, but you know, I have to embrace it while you know it's in my hands and God has gifted me with it. But you know, there's sometimes I just be like, you know, why me? You know, I just be saying that. I sit in my room, be like, Lord, why me? You know, you can't find nobody else in the church. You know, I'm just saying, like, when I see as a PK, I don't know if you're gonna detail it, like all that my parents have went through, just to, you know, stand and preach and all that stuff. There's some things I know that I can't, you know, tunnel through like they can. And you know, to see my dad override and take the, you know, the hit and keep on going, you know, I would have, my hawk side would have came out, you know, by now, but but you know, I really had to get out the shadow of always, you know, following right behind him or my brothers. Even with playing the drums and stuff, you know. Lawrence was on the drums and then I came on the drums and it's just like, oh wow, you just playing the drums because Lawrence playing the drums. But you know, I wasn't really a fan of the drums anyway. The church didn't have a drummer at the time. So I got on the drums and I didn't know how to play. You know, they used to kick me off and tell me that I was terrible and I sucked and all that stuff. But I got tired of people talking about me, so I had to perfect it. And I did it the best way I could until I just got tired of playing the drums.
But you get to a place where you stop taking stuff personal.
Yeah, I
mean, we know now what the duty is with serving. Mm-hmm. At first, if you go back 10 years, you can go back 3 years ago, to be exact. When you don't understand the duty of serving, you can mix your emotions in with it and your own personal feelings. But now that I understand the office of serving, like that should be an office. Mm-hmm. I can't take personal what another person has not had the ability to perfect. I can't take it personal. That's because you haven't matured to a certain place. I can't charge you for that. I'm gonna just pray that eventually you get it. Mm-hmm. But I just don't take it personal. I feel like if you're praying for a certain thing, eventually you have to yield to it and let the Lord work that out within you. But don't put on me what's your problem, because I'm good. Right. I'm quite comfortable in the place where God has placed me. So it's kind of like, you know, same one. It's cool. I'm pretty. Yeah, and I think that's actually really good to put out there because everybody has an expectation of what church should look like or what should be done at the church. The problem is because it's communal, it will never look like what you have your expectation of the picture in your head. Because it's communal, everybody's coming from these different backgrounds with all these different theories. And so that's the patience of ministry. That is the patience of service. So it makes complete sense. You say, now I'm secure in who I am, so I'm going to do what I feel like Lord needs me to do. And if you don't agree with it. And I still deal with different times. So there's some things that I really want to do in church, but you know, I just back off. I try to steal other people's ideas and say, "Oh, you biting off of this person." There's some things that I personally want to do that I feel like will help benefit and touch this generation. Because you know, to be honest with you, we're not really reaching this generation in the way that they should be reached. You know, we just come to church and we do the norm. It's like watching the same movie over and over and over again. Sometimes the movies skip. Sometimes, you know, we fast forward or whatever. But it's just like now I just feel like there's so much more that we can do
to, you know what I'm saying, to involve God in what we do. You know, we have gotten to a place now where we have really taken God out of everything that we do in church. You know, it's just a lot of dancing and shouting, but no true deliverance, no breakthroughs. You know, we don't have testimonies and stuff anymore. Somebody saying, I'm delivered from this, I overcame this. You know, it's the same thing over and over and over and over. And I personally, and I can say this because, you know, I'm grown, I get tired of it. Mm-hmm. I get tired of the same old church as usual. And, you know, I kind of feel like, you know, I sit at home and I watch them old YouTube videos, and I'd be like, why can't church be like this anymore? You know, I mean, I watch videos from like far before I was born. I'd be like, why can't, you know, the mothers be like this anymore? Why can't the deacons dress like this? Or why can't the preachers preach like this anymore? And, you know, the real preaching don't really get televised. You know, it's just that prophecy, and, you know, if you don't have a quick word for the people, then we're not going to air you on TV. And I don't want to, as a young preacher and as a PK, I don't want to become that type of person that feel like I got to lie to the people just to get on TV. And I hate to say that because, you know, maybe some of these prophets are not lying. You know, maybe they really hear from God, but I just feel like I don't want to have to do all this, come up with a bunch of cliches just to, you know, be on TV.
Just to become popular.
Or get 50 likes on a video or something to get my video shared. I don't want to do it.
But that's what I was talking to Darrell. Shout out to Darrell, wherever he is. You know. I was talking to him about ministry versus marketing. Like, I know there are things that we all have, like certain goals and things that we want to do, and we know that we have something, or there's something that God has put in us for a group of people. We know that if you're called to something, somebody got to answer it. Right. So my whole thing is like ministry versus marketing. I don't want to be so marketed that it loses the influence that it's supposed to have, or it loses the effect. So a certain thing that I'd rather just do and it just never be spoken of, because I know I did it with the purest intent, versus marketing everything and waiting for views. And it's nothing against this, because I feel like it's helping other people. But for me, it's just kind of like I'm trying to find a balance between the two. Do I want to really put myself out there in that aspect, or just continue to do the work?
I will say this on the side of what you just said. I always struggle with that. And I'm going to say right to the camera, because I love many people who are on Facebook and Instagram and all social media, but I don't want to see every single thing that you or your ministry does. And you're probably like, she's being a little bit mean, but my thing is just that, because I don't know what your intentions are, and it can get swallowed up, and not just for me, but for the unchurched. Because I'm thinking about my coworkers at Sephora who don't do God. They don't forget church. They don't do God. And so you have to find ways to navigate them in. And when you put everything that you do for God on social media, it becomes we think that either God is your social media, or you know what I mean. I'm just being honest, and this is why I'm saying it straight out like that. But for you, Tavy, what I'm trying to do personally is this is one part of marketing piece for me ministry wise. But if people who know me, like even when I sing, I don't even post my own videos. I let other people post it. And if I think it's too far, I'll take it down. Or if I think it's not the right thing, I won't like put it on my page. And it's like I have to navigate it. And then the other thing is, like, I don't put all my thoughts on social media. So I know this is the age we live in, but it's just where I am. I really think things through, and I say, is this really necessary?
I have so many drafts. Because I'm just like, oh, I want to say this. This is a good thought. But it's not the right time.
Hey,
everything does not, hey, Dad. Everything doesn't need to be everything doesn't need to be shared. And when you are doing certain things in ministry, there's a sacredness behind it. Like, I couldn't imagine Jesus going around healing people that are blind with a cruise Snapchat. Like, I cannot imagine. Like, I wouldn't be able to take it serious. It was like, is this really the Jesus I was talking about? I would think it's a joke.
And I think that's what people, I think honestly from what you just said, that's what some people feel now. That's what some people feel now. And then biblically when Jesus healed people, he would tell people don't tell nobody. Go your way. Praise God.
Yeah, he didn't say go tell them that it was me. Put in the plug in me so I can get another preaching engagement. He didn't do that. He just continued the work until, somebody took him up at the end. But he already knew what was gonna happen. So that's just kind of the way I reason with it. So,
yeah. But I you know what I think is? I think it's a sign of being prayerful because even working for me working for a church, knowing what child. Even with me working for a church, I need that charger. Working for a church. Hey y'all, hey Jewel, hey fam, hey Miss Linda. Hey Bishop Taylor. Hey Cameron. I'm trying to say hi to the people. The people watching. Hey Vera. Hey Aunt Karen. Hey Sarita. So even with working in the church, I find that you just have to be prayerful. You don't have to put on every single thing that you're doing. Just keep it going. Just keep doing ministry. Hold on one moment. We need to do like it's almost we have about 15 more minutes left to the show, but I need to charge my phone. Praise God. Oh, I need the extra piece because I'm gonna put it in my laptop and this thing is funny. Hold on one moment, guys. Thank you, those people watching from all over the highway. Pastor Hamilton was on there, my friend Jonathan, people from Full Memorial. Hold on. As I multitask. I hope you're enjoying the conversation. Get some pieces. Take with you along this narrow way. I'm like all over. I'm glad these are like my siblings because clearly my body is all over the place. Oh, there we go then. By the river. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. I did something to knock us off. We still here? It is a commercial break, but it's not a good commercial. Okay, huh? This my computer is asking me about iPhone, child. I just plugged it in. The problem with my iPhone is
can you turn it sideways?
I can't. They say while you're recording, you can't turn your phone sideways.
Did you unlock it?
Rotate your phone. You can't turn your phone while recording.
Oh, you got a lock?
I don't know. Y'all know I don't use Facebook Live. Back to ministry and marketing. Hold for one moment, please. Speak. Thank you for joining in. Give us a few more moments. Jewel said you can. I'm late, but I'm here. Well, hey, Love Taylor. Hold on. I have to kill it to build it. Yeah, he was there. He said I'm late, but I'm here. And he was on. But she said I can do it like I can't turn it. Hold on. Let's go down back here. Why you keep saying unlock? You see this? It's unlocked. Like I don't get it. Oh no, it's live. Okay. Well, anybody that wants to come back and join us, I had to get off to get it to going. Somebody's back. Oh, hey, Karen. The Hamilton's on. Okay. That was a great commercial. I hope that those who are part don't mind coming back for another 15 minutes or so. This is Elaine Janelle here, and we're here with Renew Talk. We have Miss Latavia Taylor. I was going to say the middle name. We have Kenneth Taylor. Am I right? Oh, they pop right back on. I appreciate y'all for being consistent on tonight. I don't want to hold you too long, but I just want to say thank you. All right, so we were talking about serving and we were talking about ministry. Oh, ministry and marketing was the last thing that JB brought up. You were saying something, Kenneth, about the aspects of ministry being hard because we're doing the same thing over and over again. It's like watching a movie over and over again. Do you think that we're unsatisfied? Are we unsatisfied to the point that we're ready to change our dynamic of ministry, or are we comfortable with our complaints? Does that make sense, y'all? Y'all tell me if I sound crazy. Are we unsatisfied to the point that we're ready to change our dynamic of ministry, or are we comfortable with our complaints?
Honestly, what else is there to change? We have pretty much tried everything to make people come to church. We have tried food. We've tried giving them money, putting money under their seats. We have tried the lights, the different.
You put money under the seats, that mean they already did.
There?
Yeah.
I was about to say somebody did it, but it was just like I didn't really look at it like
that. I don't know who did it. I'm just being logical. I'm just saying.
But we've tried everything to draw people. We pretty much pay people to come to church now. Just to sit there. We have to. People say when you have a conference or you have an event coming up, you have to ask people, would you like to sing? That's the only way they're gonna come to church. Would you like to play? That's the only way they're gonna come. We have pretty much tried everything, to putting their pictures on the screens and giving them gift bags and sitting on the front row.
Okay, but I think you went a different dynamic. My question was, and then my question is for us, not for the people. I mean, for the people in live, you can answer it too. I'm gonna scroll that up anyway. My question was for us that are we tired to the point that we're ready to make whatever changes we feel like ministry needs to make, or are we still enjoying the moment complaining? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. A lot of Pentecostal apostolic churches do this. People just ain't getting saved like they used to get saved. I mean, it's the last and evil day. People ain't changing. They not turning to God like they used to turn to God. And then you're gonna say that you ain't doing nothing different to make somebody want to turn. And then people they like to stay in their one complaining zone. And you be like, you know how many churches are growing?
I think we're just coming with complaining. A lot of people are not going to make they're not going to help.
Thing. I don't think that's a church thing. I think that's the culture of African American people. We're out of slavery. That was a choice, apparently. Thank you, But I think that's just a thing. Like we're used to saying the nay before we say thank you. We're used to pointing out the negative of something before we point out that it's positive and effective. That's just our language. Like my first language is sarcasm. It just comes out. It just rolls right off my tongue. There it is. And it's the same thing sometimes with our culture. We're quick to point out the flaw of something before we see the beauty of it. I'm not in a place to complain about anything. I feel like I've been equipped with the tools to create change where I am. Gotcha. So I'm just kind of like, if you're not on board, then we're just gonna keep on moving. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of the way. And I feel like I said in the beginning, we spend too much time trying to church people. And we're looking for people to come in to get saved the same way they did 60 years ago. People are not coming in off the street like that, trickling in saying, oh, what must I do to be saved? They're not coming in like that. The millennial epidemic is taking over how they fellowship, how they worship, how it's not the same, and it's not going to go back to that because the world is evolving. We can have church right now, and somebody in here gonna get delivered from something. We don't have to get in our cars through the tornado to go to the house, to the church house to get it. That's how the world has evolved today. It's just not like it anymore. The world has lost confidence in the church in and of itself. So they're not just trying to run in. They may say, I need a prayer, like a young man walked in church Tuesday night. And he was just like, I just need prayer. He didn't come back. He got his prayer. But that was it. That's all people really need. They just want to pray. They're not looking to become saints because the saints don't present themselves.
Mm-hmm. It's not a thing.
It's not. It ain't appealing to me. I'm not trying to be funny, but we're not upholding what a saint is. What is a saint? We just keep throwing that word around, but this is not 1955. It's not. So all that, I'm just not.
And the reason I partially agree with you that it is a cultural thing because African Americans live to complain. The reason I partially agree with you is because I'm also seeing African American churches grow. And I'm seeing some take different dynamics in ministry. Because maybe they don't say in church all day. You know what I mean? And people get scared and stuff like that. That's not what we grew up with. We grew up with evening service or night service, afternoon service. Maybe they don't say church all day. Maybe they do less singing and get directly to the word. And it holds the people who are there yearning for it, who may have stopped going to church or don't go to church.
And there's a larger sense of community in different types of settings. Even in the African American church, there is more community. And not like community as if we're going outside people from the togetherness that churches are starting to get the hang of now. That sometimes smaller churches who are not keen on that marketing side miss. So I think that plays a part of it.
Well, I know it's after
to go all night.
We might go long. We'll go all night. I wish I could now. I know some people just chimed in. I wanted to see if anybody had questions. If y'all on Facebook Live and you have any questions or anything you want to ask us, I'm going to scroll. I just got up to move my camera. Hey, Mr. Ricky. If you have anything you want to chime in and say, we welcome you to do so. Thank you for joining us on tonight. So, Sammy, you have children. You have 4 children.
4.
Okay. So now you are a preacher's kid. We'll say a preacher's kid. Because even though you're youth pastor, you don't have your own location of a church that you have to open up every Sunday for worship per se. So what are your different from what you had to go through as a PK? What are some of your expectations, or I'll say preparation of grooming style or growing style for your children? Would you have different for you? Because the truth of the matter is, let me just be honest. The truth of the matter is, at the rate you're going and the angle you're going, your children could experience some of the same things you experience. Have you thought about it?
I really haven't thought about it, but I think I want to allow them to, I don't want to say open-minded. I don't want to let too much in with them.
Yeah, I get what you're
saying. I don't want to keep them boxed in either. I don't want to shelter them where they can't experience life, but I don't want them to go too far where I can't reach them and grab them. But there's a lot of things I learned and still learning, as a PK that I'm going to, teach to my kids as well. I just pray that I'm very understanding, even though I'm young. So there's a lot of things I can pretty much relate to with them growing up. So, and I think that's what I love about my parents. They were able to relate. I can go to my dad and talk to him about my personal problems, and he would talk to me. Sometimes I would come to him as dad, and then I'd be like, when I want the pastor side of it, I'd be like, I would approach him differently. I want my kids to be able to do that. I want them to be able to know the difference, to come to me as their pastor, and sometimes come to me as father. But I'm more so geared towards come to me as your father. Not as your pastor. I don't want to take being a pastor home. I want to be a father when I can. I want to be able to enjoy my kids, take them to the park, take them out and play basketball, go to the mall with them, go play, go if they want to join football, be able to take off on Saturdays, go to their game. And my daughter, I pray she like a cheerleader or something, I don't know. I don't want her to be playing no basketball or football, and then I want her to do girl stuff. I don't want to see her out there beating up little boys and all that stuff, but I want to take time out with her and, I'm gonna be a pastor when I get to church on Sunday. That's when we're gonna draw the line. When I go home, I'm your father, and I'm not gonna talk to you like that. I'm gonna be real down to earth with you. What else is calling me? So
we let them in.
I don't know. Hello?
Is he outside? We let him in. Is he outside?
Are you here?
Oh,
this way. How far?
Well, I don't have any children. I don't have any children. And I don't really have any comments about that. I just feel like this just wasn't my path at the moment. And part of me not having children right now is because of my experience as a preacher. I already know that I'm going to be in ministry. May not necessarily be a preacher, but I don't know how I can be all 100% of myself to both aspects. If I'm in ministry and trying to, raise children or be a wife, and I want to establish there are things that I want to see happen before I do all that, so I can put 100% of myself into raising kids.
I understand. I guess I can understand it because I'm the same person.
And kids, they require so much. And one of the things I always say to people and I talk to my siblings about a lot, is I can't fault my parents for what they didn't know. I can't be mad at them for they didn't do this for me, they didn't do that for me. No, they did what they knew to do as young parents. And I feel like they did a great job raising us with what they had, what they knew. And, going into ministry and having children at the same time, raising the church. They had technically 6 babies, or if you want to go all the way into it, they had 300. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot to raise a family, help raise other people's children, do outreach, do prison ministry, feed the homeless, own a restaurant, have a daycare, make sure your kids go through school. Like, that's a lot. Like, even with graduating last week, to me, that wasn't just, this is something I accomplished. I felt like that was for them as well. Because they sacrificed. Okay, there was a sacrifice, in place. They had to sacrifice all of themselves to be 100% for both of them. So, that's a question.
Well, continue on with your question on the table.
What is the reason you feel the world has lost confidence in the church?
You say too much. Too many church scenes and movies.
Yeah.
Why they put church scenes in every movie now? I don't know. It's just like everybody coming to the office like the whole, Father, can you hear me? Or what was that movie? Color Purple. Lord, the girl came back home. Ever since that scene, I'm pretty sure like every movie.
The Fantasia scene?
No, Color Purple.
No, you talking about Tyler Perry.
That was Tyler Perry. Color Purple.
Color Purple was like from the 80s.
Ever since then, every movie has church.
I've never watched The Color Purple a day in my life. I'm just gonna say that I never watched that movie before. So I don't know anything. I just like the Fantasia scene. She was holding her stomach and she was singing down the middle aisle. That's all I know.
Fantasia. Yes. Fantasia's not in the Tyler.
She's in a movie. What's that movie she in when she
was? Wasn't that Color Purple?
Yeah,
that's every movie. It's like
I think I'm gonna watch it tonight.
That's all of our lives. Speak Lord. Everybody, all the kids.
Like that Harper. What is that? Harper.
It shows how
the part when he about to get cut. Actually, I don't watch the movie. I just listen to what people say.
Yeah, because the lines are so popular. But the truth
is, Tyler Perry.
That movie is kind of deep because it talks about actually how black people enslaved black people. Like the movie really, it's not.
So maybe I should watch it.
Yeah, it's more. It's more than the church thing, but I do agree. I think it's twofold. I think we put up church so much on social media now, people desensitized, and we're the only like religion or or way of life that does that so much. I put it like that. So that can become desensitizing. I think that. The question, go back to the question. Did you remove the question? The question going off your phone screen. Why is the world lost confidence?
Yeah, why is the world lost confidence?
I think you become too common in an effort to be really in an effort to be relevant. it's too much. It's too much relevant. Oh, that's not we're too relevant. There's no sacredness to the office. Everybody's a bishop, everybody's an apostle, everybody's a this, everybody's a that. We're not teaching the importance of doctrine, the importance of faith, the importance of the structures and commercial break. That is not gonna work. That is not. I wish y'all could really see what's happening around me. Like, we're trying to be so serious and professional. But in all actuality, we really just like to laugh and enjoy ourselves. For real, it's about to just take its whole life. I don't know how you thought that was going to work. You have to edit this whole thing out. That's not going to work.
It's already live, though, in 2 things, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but I think it's just too common. I mean, you shouldn't put off the people that you're perfect. But you should portray that you are trying to uphold the standard. Mm-hmm. So, and sometimes I don't think that's right.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, the other thing I was going to say was because it's the way society, but I think it's the same thing with Muslims. We're in all different facets of Christianity. So, like, just like they're Christians who are racist, and that's confusing as all get out. And you know what I mean? Like, but then you have other people like, well, you know, the Bible agrees with slavery. Yeah, that's for a master, but if we're talking about a time period that is totally different from now. So, you know, you have to take the Bible and transcend it to what's actually happening now. Because we're not walking around the road with sandals over on this side of the hemisphere. So,
that's very good.
So, you know, those are things that people have to take into consideration.
Question is, so can the young preacher change that?
Can the young preacher change that?
Can the young preacher change that?
The young preacher cannot change it. Who's answering the question? May I ask?
Your mom, right?
Oh, yeah, no, this is aunt.
Oh, it's aunt. Oh.
Okay. No, Karen asked, yeah, she asked, can the young preacher change it? And I said the young preacher cannot change it. And the reason I said that is because, and I'm the person who usually answers the questions, but the reason I'm saying that is because it's going to take, just like it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a group of people to assist a change. It's just like those kids who are walking out, teenagers who are walking, the preteens, you know, walking against those shooting in schools and dealing with guns control. They're walking against the fact that the United States is so easily moved by money and guns connected to money. But NRA, so the concept is they're marching against it. And one kid said, he was like, you think what you're doing to change anything? He said, I can't change a thing. But we, being out here together, can have an effect. And that's honestly what I believe about the young preachers. Shout out to Issachar Connection out of Baltimore. Being teamed up with people. You're probably like, what? Right, they know the people. Shout out to Issachar Connection and out of Baltimore. But if you teamed up with other people who are like-minded and who believe in change and want to make a world change, then
but you know, that is one of the things as a preacher's kid, and I'll just tie it all in together. We don't really have that's authentic. Is that we really don't band together for anything. Because, well, whatever it is, ego, you think somebody's going to take your moment, or it looks better when you're the only one on the flyer, or whatever. I don't know what it is. Where it's just so, we need to be just separate. We should be out there marching in DC.
That's true.
For all the rights, not just Christian rights, but for Black lives, for all lives, for the Me Too movement, for everything. We should be out there on the front line saying we are believers of Christ and we support what other people support because we walk in faith and we want to create change. I wouldn't mind if I'm going to jail for a good cause to create change.
I'm not trying to be funny, but I
will go to jail. I have an attorney. Shout out.
I got an
attorney. Yes, they will.
Not every weekend.
Shout
not before Sunday.
Lambert and Associates.
So you can do announcements.
Come on,
absolutely. I will be there.
He's not gonna get you out, so you can do announcements.
They're not gonna hold you forever if you just protest.
They didn't protesting. But you know, I feel like I will say this. I'm sorry, y'all. We're going a little longer than I expected. But I will say this. I believe that radical when people are when people are strategic, they have a strategic strategy. Oh my Lord, I didn't say it. When people have a strategy and being radical, it is effective.
Yeah.
And the problem with our generation is they're radical, but there's not many strategies. It's just a whole bunch of radical stuff.
Of zest and zeal.
Yeah, you just knocking over stuff and get mad. Knocking over stuff. Anybody doing that with that? Yeah. MLK, Malcolm X. I'm about to say Malcolm Jamal Warner. MLK, Malcolm X. You know, like even though they're only one or two people of a group of people, those people were radical.
But that's true though. There are no more Martin Luther King of our day.
Jamal Bryant.
I see, but he's older. I don't know if
he's not millennial generation. He's generation.
I don't even listen to him, and there's no change. I don't really listen to a lot of people, so I don't know if I was going to listen to questions either, but I really don't listen to people. But pretty sure
you go to your church.
I go to my
church. I don't feel like he's really. Well, this person's having a very hard time.
Darrell, seriously,
the run made it worse. This jog effect. Slow motion. Let's rewind.
Yeah, I think you just want to walk slow next time. It'll be faster.
You can almost
like what just said.
You said, could I crawl? I said, I don't know.
But what? No, I was just gonna say radical with for strategy.
So once I went for the wrong reason, I can go for what's right.
I don't know.
Going to jail.
Yeah, go to jail for what's right. I mean,
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not going to jail. I'm just gonna tell y'all that now. I'm not going to jail.
What was right or was wrong or for nothing?
I'm not going to jail for nothing.
I mean, Paul was locked up and Silas.
Yeah,
and
but
read all his books.
They made jails. They made jails different nowadays.
No, their jails are probably worse than our jails nowadays.
I'll still be deep down in the boy.
We don't really know what the inside of the jail
is.
We don't. I'm saying so weak. No, I'm just saying like they don't have. We have technology nowadays, and technology is imputed in our system in our jails. So all I want to say, what? Yes, child, he's right across the screen. But what I'm saying is not the same. Our jails now and their jails is different. And how different they are, I don't know, man. But I'm just saying, Paul Silas was in jail, and that was because of the message of Christ. Right. So I'm gonna just let that. That's your testimony. If you don't think you would go to jail, I don't know what I would do. Can I be honest? I don't know what I do.
Who would go with me to jail?
I would go to jail.
I'm trying to find one that actually pray and sing. I'll just take you. If I had to go to jail, he can really sing us out. He can sing us out. If I had to take anybody to jail, we would just be. Somebody with some money that can call
someone. Post bail. And post bail?
Yeah. We gotta get out.
Right, we have to get out so we post this again. So somebody is clout.
He's not on this video.
He's a distraction.
Yes, he is.
He ran across screen 3 times. GPK, yeah, part of the GPK ministry. Okay, I'm just saying I don't know what I would do. The reason I'm saying stuff like that is, if a cop put me up, I really don't know if I'm going to behave.
I think you should just pass out. They're going to take you to the hospital first. Yeah, I'm just going.
But I do agree with you with having some clout. I fully agree with having some clout. And I got a few people I would call to have a clout to get me out between the law.
I said it silently.
I don't think we should do this part anymore. I think that
I just want them to know. We're not gonna depend on that. I don't think they heard you. We're just not gonna depend on it.
Oh my goodness. But I hope that everyone has enjoyed Renewed Talks tonight. I haven't had any problems tonight because we're all in one room. Usually I have problems because I'm in another city or state and my guests are in another city or state. So I want to say thank you for everybody who joined in, and thank you for my guests, and thank you for the person that's hosted us in their home. And we just want to say thank you, for running across screen. And
kept us connected.
You have kept us connected. Your Wi-Fi has been the connection for Renew Talk.
All 4 devices.
All 4 devices. We have all been on all of them. So I just want to tell you thank you. And can the young preacher change it? No, they cannot, but we, as senior people, can. To Miss Tavy and Mr. You have any last things you want to say to the people before we close out tonight?
You can join us this week for our Preachers Kids Summit that is starting on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. What is your vision and your goal for that, if you don't mind me asking?
My vision and my goal. Honestly, the young preachers kids that we just talked about don't really get an opportunity to experience God in their own way without being judged or being busy. So I wanted to create an avenue where we can all come together and experience God the way that we've really been seeking to and wanting to. And just because we are preachers kids don't mean we're automatically saved or delivered, set free. So I was thinking that there would be something that is life-changing for all of us, that we can all come together and experience God and let one another know that you're not the only one that's going through or have personal problems going on or have hardship or struggle with finding your identity. I struggled with finding out who I really was, and sometimes I still question who I am. So we have capable preachers that are coming speak with that or help us find out who we are and what we are. One of our session speakers have backed out on us. But we're praying for her strength during this time. We're praying for her strength.
You're not going to do that to my only other guest here.
We are praying for her strength,
As I stated earlier, that I'm not easily.
She has found her identity.
I have. It was when I let go of some things. First, I started with my hair. We're not going to go
But back to me, and we do think.
I'm helping you with your plan.
So we want to make sure that just come together. Don't come with the mindset
we're going to refresh yourself.
Yeah, refresh. We're gonna have food. We can eat. But I know people gonna be asking if they're food.
Okay, there'll be food.
So you can spiritually refresh yourself.
Sushi, soup and salad.
The church is big enough. You can have your own space. You don't have to worry about bumping up against anybody. We just want you to come. We want you to come, and we can't tell you how the move of God is going to go. We can't tell you how it's going to be. All we can do is just say, show up and come and expecting God to do something in you. Even with me being the host, I have a whole lot of things that I want God to do through me, for me. So I'm probably going to be in my own little world.
The
squad. I don't even know if they're watching. There's Lawrence, the squad. I didn't put forth all this by myself. It was a whole squad.
Open the door.
It's open. A whole group chat. We came together and we started a group chat, and we used to text in the chat till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. 2,000 and 3,000 text messages by the time the other ones got up. So I didn't put forth all of this by myself. There's a whole team that will be there, so y'all get to see the whole team. Rocking our t-shirts, our wristbands. And, I just pray that you be there and experience this moment. Sorry, long as you're so late, but we're about to go home.
I'm still going to talk to him because my brother's here for a few moments.
Yes.
But you don't have to be all shady.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, the dates for the conference, May 17th through the 19th. It will be right here in Richmond, Virginia at Fountain of Deliverance Church. I'm going to shorten that name. Fountain of Deliverance Church on the south side of Richmond, 3800 East Broad Rock, where Bishop Lawrence Taylor is the pastor. I think they want shout outs to that. And people are asking, can they wear hats? I'm gonna say whatever you want to wear.
You don't have to be.
You can wear hats. You can wear prayer cloths. You can wear your dollars. You can wear. You can wear jeans. You can wear shorts, flip flops, whatever you want to wear. I don't
taking
care.
Off false identities.
Yeah, I don't care.
You know what?
All filters.
If you want to bald your head, do so.
Even on my phone.
Come with an open heart and come expecting God to do something.
Identity crisis.
Amen.
Identity crisis. We're collecting all filters at the door.
So for those of us who have been on or just hopped on for a few minutes, Mr. Lawrence Taylor joined on. He's the firstborn male of the Taylor family.
Yes.
Firstborn male. and he's actually a twin as well. But before we close out tonight,
somebody say interview Lawrence, please.
So he joined us for a few minutes tonight. This is my good brother in the Lord. But I wanted to ask you some of the same questions I asked them, and I'll ask you. I'm gonna make it short for 5 minutes.
Okay, sure.
Okay. But some of the questions I asked Sammy and I asked Tavy was dealing with, but every time that you like wish that you want to PK in the church, of our Lord.
I'm gonna answer truthfully, absolutely, absolutely. For me, it was a lot of pressure because everybody thought that I was going to be the successor, and I was going to be the one to pick up, my dad's mantle and carry on the legacy next time.
Why are you walking outside?
Yeah, you want to get something back here.
Because he mentioned, because what's funny is he mentioned it.
He mentioned that too?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so everybody thought I was going to be the one that, you can have it, right? No, you got it. You're doing well, sir. So I'm gonna definitely say yes to that. It's a lot of pressure. Pressure that I wasn't ready for. Pressure that I wasn't expecting. Having to mature faster than my peers and think 10 years ahead, think towards the future. I was still thinking about music then, still thinking about going to school to be a lawyer or architect or stuff like that. I wasn't thinking about being a pastor in high school, so most definitely around that time. I wasn't born in this life. I would be mad, but I most definitely don't regret any of it. The walk, I love it.
I have a question. So another question I asked, because Sammy did a great time for me this year. And Tavy, but I feel like Tavy is. This is just my observation. Mm-hmm. I feel like even as we were younger, Tavy was always stronger in her like who she was. So I'm sure she became irritated at times, but she was very like, you can go sit over there. Even at like 17, you can go over there. And you can be mad over there, but then I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. So my question for you, Lawrence, is then even in you having moments where you wish you wasn't, how did it affect your idea of like your relationship with God or your idea of God? Did it ever have an influence on that?
I battled it because I'm the type of person that being a musician, and I don't want to get too deep on this, but being a musician, like, what kind of like, maybe like spiritual things you think about a lot, how brains are wired differently. And I battled there because I don't ever not want to please God. I never said that wrong, but I don't want to not please God. I never want to be outside of His will or God take His spirit with me or anything like that. So there's always a contradiction that I don't know. One minute I don't want to do this. I don't want to be outside of His will and He takes His hand away from me and I'm not successful in anything. Music
or anything
ministry. Like. Yeah, or anything else in life.
That's interesting. I'm not going to do too much in it because that's a good conversation to have. Because I think that everybody kind of is like, we want to please God because we want His hand to take Him off of us. But I think the other part of it is God gives us the free will to ask Him which way we should go as well. Does that make sense? Yeah. I hope they don't sound like I'm trying to be contradictory. I'm just being honest.
The people that take me out about this conference, somebody just texted me and said,
do I get my own?
Do I get my own autograph?
Well, I'm a pause for a minute because you said earlier, and this is when we weren't talking about this, but you went there. It's about you can't get people to come to church unless you put your picture on the screen, unless you put your picture on the flyer. I'm like, well, those are the church people that want to be grand.
We really do a lot of stuff to get people to come to church. And it's the same folk that we're going to see again on Sunday. Throughout the week, we have to do so much pushing just to get them to come support.
But if people are, don't you think
my main goal is I want to reach those that I see walking up and down the street.
And that's what I was about to say. Okay.
With their pack of cigarettes hanging out their pocket and smelling like weed. Those are the people, and with a beer bottle, come in church, man. You know what I'm saying? The church is not too. It shouldn't be too grand with, you know what I'm saying, they don't want to come to church, or, you know, some of them just like they scared to walk past church, you know, they can't come in just to use the bathroom. You know, I'll take it. Yo, if you want to use the bathroom, come in. Something might hit you while you going to the bathroom, you know, but we have protected church so much where they don't do that. And I see why, you know, because all the killing and stuff that's going on. But, you know, they say take the church to the streets, but when it's time to take the church to the streets, the ones that be saying it don't never show up.
In spite of, you know, that's going to be everywhere.
Everywhere.
In spite of special reaction. Lawrence, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely. I'm sorry I'm late, guys.
He had the rest of the night. But we appreciate
So, Lawrence, are you coming to the summit? I just want to know. Are you going to be there?
I think I'm going to be there Saturday.
What if he said no?
I'm going to be late that Saturday. Yeah, so. No, guys, I will be there. Definitely come out.
Can you tell me one thing on every? And what if he said no? Sibling.
You know, if he said no, I wouldn't put it back.
I mean, I ain't getting paid. No.
Okay, I'm not going up there.
I'm they get paid, you know, we might give you a little something, you know, if we come out on top.
We just kids who are musicians. Maybe I should do a separate one for you and Steven.
Yeah.
But I need you both to be on time.
Oh, yeah. Next time
we'll do that in the fall.
Do you want to do it at the summer? We can do a late night one with like a live audience.
Do you think there's some PK musicians will slide through?
Yeah, we do like Friday night. We can do like Friday night.
Well, I'm a musician. I used to play the clarinet.
Teddy was horrible on that clarinet.
Yes, he was.
Them school nights he used to play that thing. Her little thing was all chipped and broken. Her little thing was all chipped, and you know how what's the little wood thing was all chipped up.
No, not the recorder. The wood is the reed. I used to play clarinet too.
Third chair, concert band. Shout out to
I played snare. But it's not more than like, yeah!
I don't want to play any instrument in school.
I'm
not straight to art.
Can you draw?
So
I want you to draw something for me because I'm collecting art. This is my thing.
They use my pieces in high school for like this art show thing. It's like this thing.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that.
Hey, Lawrence got best dress in middle school.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, he got best dress in the yearbook. That was so horrible. Y'all, I had on some jeans, some white fleece, this shirt, this dress shirt from K&G that came down to my knees. It was like a 15 in the neck with like a 38. With a sweater on and with a fat neck tie that came down like right here.
Remember that was that? You did say you used to listen to Jamal Brown.
I love Jamal Brown. We could never tie the tie right.
It was because of him that they became popular.
Yeah. Steven said, "I'm still here, but you're not."
Like here or
he's been on Facebook Live with us.
Yeah.
I can't.
Shout out to Steve. Love
Taylor and Kiki. We're sorry. She's probably at work.
Thank you, Kiki.
Yeah, she's probably working right now. So I just want to tell thank you.
Oh, one more shout out. I'm sorry. I was thinking about that because she was talking about Kiki. Though. Yeah. Let's do that live talking.
Live musician.
Yes. And we'll be going live with From the Heart with the Taylors as well. So you'll get
a live altar call. No.
We might. From the Heart with the Taylors will be Saturday evening. Saturday evening to end the summer. We'll be talking and actually get to meet all 5 of us at one time. Pray our strength. I'll be praying for you guys as well. We don't know what that's going to be like, but you know, you put it in the Lord. That you get to meet all 5 of us at one time.
Yeah, I think you're going too much with that bless.
With that one? I don't know. They can tell you worship it.
No, I was just thinking, you know, it takes a whole lot to be vulnerable in order to have other people be made whole.
Yes,
like, so even tonight, it was a lot for us to share. We didn't share all of our truths because some things may not be proper for this type of setting, or it may not even be edifying. I know the word. but this PK Summit is not about us. Right. It's not about us, you know, in particular, or each one of us. It is us making ourselves vulnerable and true and honest so that other people will know how to handle what they experience as preachers' kids. They have children. I don't want my nieces and nephews to not be able to handle some of the stuff that come their way. And that's the same thing that we want to offer to other people who are coming in. Some of them are younger than us, some of them are older than us, and who aren't handling the preacher's kid-ness of their life very, very well. And some of you aren't preacher's kids. Some of you just need to know and have some tools on how to live, how to handle life, how to go through circumstances, how to deal with trials and tribulations. Some of us will never be able to really share our true story. Like, you see us laughing and talking tonight, but there's a whole lot of stuff up here that we were not able to share tonight that we may be able to share if it's edifying during the PK conference. But the whole goal is for some of you all to be made whole. Some people are struggling and may not be able to laugh at certain things right now. But for me, I'm laughing. Y'all laughing? No, the life is good. Like, we were able to tunnel through some things. You're so smart. Tunneling through some things, we were able to laugh. I don't know about the rest of y'all. But I be laughing. Ha ha ha.
I'm what?
Laughter is contagious. Ha ha ha. Ha.
I'm just in a place now where I'm just enjoying the journey. You take stuff as it comes along. These tests. You should know. You just graduated.
Yeah, but that was a different type of journey. I don't know what journey you're talking about.
What journey you're talking about?
Test of life.
Well, maybe I'm not living.
You not enjoying the journey?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I'm enjoying that. Your journey may not be somebody else's journey.
And you know what's funny? You know what's funny? I just be wondering why people don't pay no attention to you when you don't have a dramatic story. When we talk about that at the PK conference, let me tell y'all, the story, what I'm supposed to be teaching about is the misconception of the altar. But it was going in a whole lot of different places. People don't think you're credible if you ain't been to hell or jail. Like, I had problems too. I just didn't get caught. Like, I think we really need to teach that.
Well, it's funny you said that because
I'm serious.
I'm gonna put myself out there. It's funny you said that because I think I was at a women's conference that I'm a part of a couple years back. And a friend of mine who was teaching, she began displaying her journey as dealing with relationships and things like that, or like overcoming things after sex and everything. And then she asked me a question as a person who was a virgin, and it was like people was like, "Oh, okay."
That's not even a thing. Like,
it was like
whatever.
It was like, child, you have no sex life. Like this. And that's sad. And that's sad. Because that's how they said.
Because you don't have something juicy like, ooh, did you hear who they had a baby by? Did you hear this? And I'm just like, that's so true.
I will not be.
No, it's true.
I'm sorry that I don't have anything.
My journey is my journey.
Yeah.
You can't get mad that mine is different.
Let me tell you.
Drama sells, Latavia.
All publicity is good publicity. I'll tell you something if you come. I'll tell you the story.
Well, I didn't want y'all to give everything. This was just to be like a prerequisite for what may happen this weekend. And to just share a piece of your lives and little things that you have learned along the way. It wasn't meant to put everything on people. Yeah. But I always welcome to every new talk. If you go there, we go there. And if you don't, we don't. You get what I'm saying? So I'm actually not going to hold this up, but I do close out every episode in prayer. So, Savior's going to hang in with it. Not to receive from the Lord. I mean, he has been off the camera all night. So the one who has hosted us on this, we're using his Wi-Fi as we speak, is our, minister evangelist, Joel Haynes. And yeah, he's the one who you saw swiffing by the camera. But I'm not gonna make him pray because he's already been on our new talk twice. So he's already done his reign. But we have our good pastor and our good musician here, our MD, who's here. And if you listen to our full episode on SoundCloud when I put it on there, we're gonna have some of this man's music on there. He has to make sure he sends me the right songs and we play in the episode. We like to push our people. Shout out. We pushing the whole conference here. And my friends are going to give me a shout out to Issachar Connection. If you're in the Baltimore area on Sunday, Pentecost Sunday night, we'll be having service. Join us. I will be putting more information about that right in Baltimore. Now, all right, who's playing?
I said it.
He's watching people shout.
Yeah.
he's doing what he complains about.
That's right.
Somebody sent
They
it.
sent it to you because they knew you would watch it.
They sent it in the chat. They was saying getting ready for the PK segment.
Yes,
Yeah, Lord.
you're letting your pressure off.
Well,
Well, all friends. These are the problems
I
of
get
the
paid
church, of the young church.
money.
We have to change. We have to
money.
look at it. We must be so
I
good.
give to the house of God. Amen. Time and service. Cash. I don't have cash app.
You have cash app?
Mm-mm. But something about I don't trust cash app.
It's going to shift. I'm telling y'all, this life is shifting.
I feel like that's a fool. All out y'all identity. Never mind. Everybody identity.
Yeah, I really. You just want to say, you want to speak that over my life?
No, I'm just delete it. Delete that cash app. Oh no,
I don't think it's just cash app though.
I take time when you
I think
swallow
no,
up.
but I really think that once you're out there at this point. That's just my terminology.
Well,
I check
you
my
have
account
Starbucks.
online.
You have
So
Starbucks app.
I have Starbucks app.
Yeah, I think that's what
I have cash app. I have PayPal. I mean, I have HSBC Bank. I mean, if you're ready to take my identity, only God will help you because I promise
you can take my
you
student
will
loan.
have hell after you steal my identity.
Take my student loan.
And I do speak that over your life.
My bad. Swallow that up.
They looking at me like she crazy. It's time to go. That's the problem. All right, who praying?
I guess so.
Okay, nice.
Hey, Lord, before we ask you for anything, we want to thank you for everything. So good to us and so gracious to us. God, we thank you for our sister Jelena for allowing us to be a part of the show. God, we thank you for everybody viewing, for everybody. We ask you to bless them. Hope they are touched some type of way, healed in some type of way, imparted into in some type of way. And God, we just thank you. We thank you for this conference. We thank you for this podcast. Give you all the praise. And as we go from here, everybody that's doing that, continue to bless them. Bless them tonight as they rest, as they sleep. Talk to them in their sleep, Lord. Talk to them. Let them know that they should be at this conference. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thanks again for joining us. I apologize. I just got convicted on prayer for saying what I just said. But I do promise if somebody just did steal my identity, the Lord will I promise you that. But I kind of apologize. The Lord is still working on me. I'm still saved, though. I didn't back out that fast. All right. I'm turning off, though. But thanks, God. We appreciate it. And thanks so much. This has been good.
Thank you.
You got time next time.